Hey everyone, it's Marby Lee with RE/MAX Realty Partners, and I was going to do a video on this, but then I thought I would just go live because it's not really a long video. It's just some things that have been coming up with real estate. It's been coming up for probably the last month or two, but certainly is getting more discussion now as we're seeing the market changing, certainly here in South County and the Bay Area, certainly San Jose. If you've seen the news lately, you may have seen a news article or item about I think it was the top 10 markets that have dropped in their home prices, and San Jose was the number one market that dropped in home prices. So it's something, again, we've been talking about it in our office. I'm sure it's getting talked about in a lot of offices that there is definitely a big change going on right now in the housing market here in the Bay Area, definitely here in South County. So I just wanted to kind of talk about some of the things I'm talking about certainly with sellers and buyers. I'm focusing on sellers a little bit, but I'll also talk about buyers too. So back in March and April, we saw just amazing numbers for the prices we were getting here in Morgan Hill and South County. We were regularly seeing things going over list price, sometimes up to 30% in some cases. $400,000 over list, $300,000, big numbers over list price. Due to competition, my thesis on it was, there are people coming from other areas up north that have higher price points, and you're getting a lot less for your money up there, and would come down to South County and see that here in Morgan Hill, traditionally, you could get so much more. You could get, months ago, a single family home, let's say 2,700 square feet with a nice size lot, usually 6,000 or 7,000 square feet, let's say on average. And they were priced, for a time they were priced at 1.1 billion, starting to get up to 1.2 million. And I think there was so many people coming down from up north, as I said, so much competition back in the past couple of months that the price was just getting driven up and up and up, and fostering so much competition that in March and April, we saw average percentages over list go, 115%, which means the average of prices going over list was 15% over list price. So that means obviously some were going way over list price. Like I said, saw some 30 over list price. So things have been changed. What I'm getting to is things have changed. Buyers have gotten a little reticent. They're seeing this happen. Obviously, we've heard about the rise in interest rates. Again, interest rates, if you look over the past 40 or so years, 5% is kind of a normalized rate. We weren't going to see high 2s and 3s carry on for a long period of time. It was sort of a blip in time, and you were lucky if you got it, but a lot of people came to expect that, I'm going to get a 3% interest rate for my 30-year loan for my dream house. Well, that changed. So that also cooled off the market. What also happened too is inventory increased a lot. A lot of people started, either they needed to get out for some reason, or they saw these home sales numbers appreciating and thought, I want to get in and get mine. So we have a lot more inventory. So what we're trying to do, or what I'm trying to do here, is for anyone out there who has been thinking of selling, you have to readjust your expectations. What we're seeing probably in the past at least a month, maybe 3 weeks a month at least, our numbers are, things are getting priced based on those comps we saw, 3 or 4 months ago, which were crazy. And we're seeing things sit on market. Days on market has, for last month, for June, doubled from the previous month, up from 8 days on market. It doubled up to 16 days on market. So far in July, I just looked at some numbers and I'm going to pull them up here really quickly. So far, the average days on market for July is 20 days on market, so it's still going up. There was one kind of straggler out there for one property that's been on the market for a long time, but without that in there, 20 days on market. Let's see, the average percentage over list is right at 100%. So things, some things are going over list, but the average so far for the month of July in Morgan Hill is 100%. So things are going for list. We saw so far in the homes that have sold in July, we have seen, 6 homes had their original list price reduced, 25%. And last month it was 30% of homes went below list. So we're definitely seeing a change. So I think the big news here is if you're thinking of selling, you have to adjust your expectations, because if you have to sell, you don't want the home sitting on the market for a long time, because you obviously have places to be, things to do, and maybe another home that you need to start paying for or move to. So you have to kind of talk with the agent you're working with and make sure that price that you're setting it at is realistic for the market we're in today, or otherwise it's going to probably sit like so many other homes have. Which leads me to my next point, was another thing I was looking up. I always look at, new listings that are coming on the market to see what's available, where prices are at, or where things are getting listed, and the pricing for them. And it was interesting. There was one listing I saw that came on in the last week. Not going to go into who, what, or where, but the price for it was priced, I thought, fairly high for what it was. And, it was an agent that isn't local here to the area. And it was just, anyway, what I'm getting to is, if you're working here in Morgan Hill or working in, whatever area you're in, you probably want to talk with an agent that's local to the area or specializes in that area for a lot of reasons. One, they know the market. They're watching the market. They're looking at the numbers. And they're going to be aware of these changes down here that we've all been seeing, because we've all been experiencing it. And, your house isn't going to sit then for a lot of days on market, if you have it priced appropriately. I'm curious to see how long that this one listing is going to be on the market before it goes into contract and eventually sales, because it's a nice home. It just, to me, it seems a little overpriced. So I'm making the case for using an agent that is local to the area that you're selling in. There's so many advantages to that. As I've said, they know the market, they know the numbers. If there's any kind of work you need to have done, maybe you want to fix it up a little bit before it actually goes on the market, they are going to know local vendors and have relationships with them and be able to get you someone, hopefully quicker. Because again, if you're working to get it on the market and you have to sell, you have a time frame you have to meet. Time is of the essence there, and you want to get somebody in quickly. If emergencies come up, if things come up, an agent who's local to that area, or local here in Morgan Hill, if you're selling here in Morgan Hill, they're gonna be able to be there in 10, 15 minutes. If you've got an out of area agent, and I've experienced and had, sometimes where I've shown a house for clients who had an agent who was out of the area because they couldn't make it down here to show the house, which is, I don't mind doing, but it helps to have your agent in the area that you're selling your house. So, like I said, it's just a really quick couple minutes, just giving you an update on the market. Oh, I did want to get to buyers a little bit, because I know we've been talking for a long time about it's been a seller's market with these crazy prices. Well, you know, it's kind of shifting, or some would say it's kind of shifting to be a buyer's market because there's more inventory, there's more to choose from. You know, you have a little more leverage with things sitting on the market a little longer. I would personally make the case that it's still both a buyer's and a seller's market. Because on the seller's end, if you've held your or been in your house for a long time, your home's appreciated over many years, even though you're not going to get maybe that out of this world price that maybe you got in March or April, prices have still appreciated over, you know, the very long term and even on the shorter term in a lot of cases. So you're still going to be able to get probably a very good price on your home if you're realistic about, you know, where we are now and you're working with an agent who helps you price it appropriately and you take their advice, because again, they're looking at the numbers. But it's also that buyer's market because, like I said, they have more inventory, they have more choices, they probably have a little more leverage because things have been sitting. So, you know, it's sort of a weird time right now of who's getting the advantage. It feels like it's more on the buyer's side, but, you know, the case could be made that sellers are still seeing a good return on their investment. So just wanted to get everybody updated, you know, let them know what we were seeing here. Trying to update a little more frequently. I usually do a monthly sales report for Morgan Hill, but with everything kind of in flux and changing and kind of stabilizing a bit in the market, just wanted to get on for a few minutes and just give you an update. If you have more questions, I am always a resource. If you want to see more numbers or more information about what's going on, I'd be glad to help you out with that. You can text, call, or email me. Just check Instagram or any of my social media. All of my contact information is there. Again, I'm Marby Lee. I'm with RE/MAX Realty Partners in Morgan Hill, and I'd love to chat with you soon and be a resource for you. Hope everyone's going to have a good afternoon. It is a hump day, Wednesday, so we're almost to the end of the week. In Morgan Hill, we've got Friday night music coming up this weekend, and don't know what else is going on this weekend. I've got an open house, but you know, hopefully I'll end up at Friday night music and take the evening off to hear some good music down there. Anyway, like I said, any questions or if you need help with any kind of home or real estate information, I'd love to be a resource. Talk to you soon. Hope to talk with you soon.